When I got a motion alert and checked my pool camera, I assumed it was a raccoon. Nope. It was my HOA president, Linda, floating in my pool on my flamingo floatie, decked out in a neon green bikini like she owned the joint. I was at work, and there she was, sipping a glass of wine and wah-vying at the camera. This wasn't some cheesy MOVY, it was real life in a neighborhood where an overzealous, self-appointed HOA dictator had gone rogue. Freeze frame. That's me, the guy whose private well Linda had tapped into to water her precious garden. My response. I flushed her system with sewage. Oh, that was just the start. The first time I caught her, I gave her a pass. Maybe she was confused, thought it was a shared pool, or accidentally stumbled into my floatie with a Pinot Grigio in hand. But then it kept happening. She got bolder each time. One day, she brought a friend. Another time, she dragged my pool net across the concrete like it was her royal staff. Every motion alert became predictable. Linda, neon bikini, treating my backyard like her personal resort. Let's back up. I bought this house last year, a modest spot on the edge of a planned community. My mistake? Not realizing half the neighborhood was under a loosely organized HOA that acted like a caffeinated vigilante squad with no therapy in sight. I wasn't part of it, not legally bound by their rules, but that didn't stop Linda from vying me handwritten violations in pastel envelopes every other day. Your trash can's Cybele. Your grass is 1.3 inches too tall. Your fence isn't HOA approved. They had zero authority over me. But Linda ran the show like a tyrant with a rulebook printed on a napkin. The fence and pool pushed me over the edge. I'd built that fence myself, tall, sleek, modern, and locked. I added a pool heater because I like a warm dip after work. I'm in tech. My days are a mess of code, bugs, and too much coffee. That pool was my sanctuary until Linda invaded. It started subtly, a wet footprint on the patio, a half-empty wine glass by a chair I never use, a damp towel on a dry day. I thought I was losing it until I checked the footage during lunch one day. There she was, mid-sip, legs up, lounging like she was auditioning for a suburban reality show. She waved at the camera, shameless. Next day, she casually mentioned how underused my backyard looked and how refreshing my pool must be. I just nodded. What else could I say? Yeah, Linda, love that you're trespassing while I'm at work. I tried a polite fix, a private pool, no trespassing sign, and a gate lock. She left a note claiming my gate OLAT HOA openness standards and fined me for exclusive tie. I'm not even in the HOA. That's when I realized this wasn't just entitlement, it was war. She'd gotten away with it so long she thought she could twist any rule into her favor. The pool needs circulation, she once said. Algae builds up. I wanted to say she was the algae, so I stopped playing nice. I upgraded my cameras, logged every trespass, every fake fine, and set up alerts. A friend in water systems helped me discover she'd hooked her sprinklers to my private well, explaining my spiking water bills and her thriving roses. Her excuse? I thought the hose was abandoned. That's when I flushed her system, not figuratively, literally. I rerouted it through a backup tank from work, filled with safe but foul-smelling wastewater. At 6 a.m., her sprinklers kicked on. By 6:07, she was shrieking on her lawn like she'd seen a septic ghost. A sane person would have quit, but Linda doubled down. She left a complaint in my mailbox with photos of her ruined lawn, accusing me of sabotage and threatening HOA escalation. I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my coffee. I'm not in the HOA, couldn't escalate anything. But she lived in a fantasy where her rules bent reality. She started issuing fines for excessive pool temperature, hostile landscaping, non-communal gate design, all fake, all exhausting. I'd come home to new citations daily, her smug grin across the street, feeling like the only sane guy in a suburban dystopia. Time to fight back. I tweaked the pool, a smart thermostat, prank powder safe, but itchy and slightly off spa-level chemicals. She didn't show for 2 days. I thought she'd learned. Then, at 1:14 p.m., the alert pinged. I was on a call, muted it, and pulled up the feed. Linda was back, with a friend, sipping wine, smug as ever. 15 minutes in, the friend squirmed. Linda scratched her arms, then her neck. Panic set in. They climbed out, red-marked and flustered, her friend clutching a towel like it owed her something. I smiled, not because it was over, but because she had no clue what was next. She thought I was just a quiet tech guy. She didn't know about the HOA audit, the footage, or that her poolside antics were about to cost her more than wine. I cranked the thermostat to 110-degree Flegel, but miserable kept the itch powder, removed the umbrella, hid the flow tie. Operation Boil Linda was on. Wednesday, 1:38 p.m., she returned with her friend, wine in tow. They floated, gossiped, sipped until the heat and itch hit. By minute 21, they were out, red-faced, grumbling. The next day, she knocked on my door. I answered in a towel, fresh from a fake shower. She claimed she was checking the pool for unsafe temperatures as HOA president. I let her ramble, then hit her with, "Sorry, Linda, you're not on the deed or the guest list." Her face twitched. She threatened escalation. I smiled, mentioned footage and trespassing laws, and watched her storm off. She taped 2 new citations to my door: excessive pool temperature and unregistered recreational use. I laughed. Then she ramped up noise complaints for silent music, animal control for a non-existent dog, a city report of an unlicensed garage business. I logged it all, talked to neighbors, she'd terrorized them too, and called my cousin, a real estate attorney. He drafted a cease and desist masterpiece and requested an HOA audit. The citations stopped. Linda scowled but stayed away until she called an emergency HOA meeting to rally the neighborhood against me, not realizing I wasn't under their jurisdiction. My cousin found gold in the HOA books: payments to a fake landscaper, wine refreshments, a DULA 5,000 beautification fund that only beautified Linda's yard. I leaked pool footage online, stamped, no caption. At the meeting, she pitched stricter pool rules, irrelevant to me. Neighbors grilled her. "Is that you in his pool? Why'd your yard get the hedges?" She floundered. The treasurer suggested suspending her over financial concerns. She raged, but the vote ousted her. I sent the board her fake fines, footage, and audit proof. She was removed, fined DULA 750 for trespassing and theft. Saturday, I threw a pool party quiet in Vitesse, no drama. Neighbors came, laughed, shared Linda's stories. She watched from her driveway, wine in hand, irrelevant. She filed one last city complaint: unlicensed recreational facility. The inspector sighed, took a donut, and left. The HOA banned her from rolls, fined her retroactively. Her yard decayed. She sat in a sad kiddie pool. I grilled, waved at a new neighbor, and sipped a mocktail. Peace wasn't loud, just the hum of pool jets and knowing Linda's reign was over. I've still got heat controls and itch powder, just in case.